What's up, everyone? I hope you all are having a wonderful and blessed day, and if not, I do hope that it gets better. I would like to say thank you for stopping by the channel and checking out today's video. It means a lot to me, and I truly do appreciate it. Now, if you're enjoying the content that you're seeing here, and you wouldn't mind helping to support not only me, but the channel as well, please hit that like and subscribe button. It's free, and it'll only take you a second, and be sure to hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on all of my future content. Today will be a quick video as we're going to discuss if whether or not Midnight Suns can release before the year is out. So for those of you who don't know, the game has been pushed back from its October 7th release date to a release window of its fiscal year, which is March. So anywhere from now into March is essentially what we're working with. Also, as a side note, for anyone who pre-ordered the game through the PlayStation Store, check your pre-orders and your emails, specifically your spam folder. The reason I say that is because PlayStation won't allow pre-orders for games without a release date. So more than likely you were refunded your money and you're going to have to wait until a new date is announced before you can pre-order digitally again. In terms of GameStop, I don't know how the pre-orders are handled there anymore. They might just keep them or they might give you your money back. You'll have to call up there and see. I don't know what the method is for Xbox and PC, but if it's not the same, I would imagine that your pre-order with them is still active. But back on topic. Now, the delay was a general surprise for everyone because besides a few things, the game looked like it was ready to go gold. You mix in the constant hype train that we've been getting ever since June kicked in at Summer Games Fest, you would have believed that things were a-okay. Also, I think that is good they've been continuing the promotion train like normal, with the only thing changing is the pace at which they were going. But some studios would, and some of them actually have, go on radio silent and shut out its player base until they were ready to announce something. I understand it's because the team is putting their heads down so they can focus on their work so they can get the game ready as soon as possible, but it seems like some studios genuinely don't understand that shutting yourself off from your player base is a surefire way to turn them away from your game and also solidify any doubts that they might have, be it true or false. Things like that can kill so much of the goodwill that you've managed to build up from your players who are excited for the game. Now, I will admit, the delay definitely was a shot to the gut, but in my opinion, the fact that they're still being open and vocal with us definitely counts for something in my book. Now, going back to the tons of gameplay that we've been getting from people like Christopher Odd, Eric's Gaming, Fextra Life, and more, the game looked like it was just about in its final stages. So the delay honestly begs the question, what else needed to be done that couldn't have been done before time was up? The only issue outside of the game that I could believe as a solid reasoning is that they didn't want to release it in October anymore. For the people who don't know, October is a stacked month. You got Gotham Knights, Persona 5, Real, again, Call of Duty, Overwatch 2. I believe there's about 19 something games in that month alone. The delay could simply be them trying to make the release of the game easier on themselves so everything can go smoother with launch and sales, because the only big competition in November would be God of War and Pokemon, and December only has about 3 to 4 games releasing, and one of them would be the Callisto Protocol. For example, this was way back when Titanfall 2, one of the best FPS games in the past couple of decades, I will down that hill, I say this all the time, released in between a Call of Duty and a Battlefield game. Titanfall 2 had the better gameplay out of all 3 games and the better story. It actually had one of the best FPS stories in any FPS game that's ever been made. But due to sales and the popularity of the 2 games next to it, Titanfall 2 got killed. It still has a very, very dedicated player base to this day, but it's just to further prove my example that a decent game can definitely be killed by a game that's bigger than them, simply just because of popularity. Not because it's bad, just because of popularity alone. But I'm getting off topic. Let me get back on my point. My prediction for release would be December, but I'll actually get to that in a moment. Now, in terms of game issues themselves being the cause, one notion that I would like to kill right away is that they are not removing the card system. I really wish y'all would stop saying that. I actually would bet my life on that, right? They are too far into development to even consider that as an option. Some people either don't know or just don't care to remember that the card system is more than just a core mechanic of the game. Taking it out and replacing it means that not only would this be an entirely different game because everything was built on top of that card system, but this game wouldn't see the light of day until September 2024, and that's me being very generous. They're not about to scrap something that they've been working on for the past 2 to 4 years. Now, another issue that I can possibly see would be further performance tuning and updating some of the character models, because one thing that you notice that I've definitely noticed in some of these trailers and gameplay videos is that there will be times where the gameplay models will look very nice and smooth, and then in another clip they'll look like just all kinds of scratchy, like it's not fully rendered in or it's missing something. A good example would be a close-up of the hunter's face during the Wolverine versus Sabretooth gameplay showcase. I could definitely see that being an issue. Another one that's in my head that I'm positive we're all hoping is not the case, even though we have all of this footage that would suggest we have some pretty stable gameplay, is that this would mean the things underneath the hood were a lot worse than any of us would have expected it to be, and it couldn't have been fixed in time, and they specifically didn't tell us that. Other than the 3 reasons that I listed here, which is basically October being a stacked month, more simple performance tuning to clean up the game, or a further overhaul to correct any possible major issues that could affect players at the launch, I generally do not see any reason as to why the game would have been pushed back. So with all of that being said, here's my prediction. We have from now until the end of March, which is their fiscal year. We know that the game will be releasing first on current gen consoles, which are PC, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 5, and it then will release at a later date for last gen consoles, which are Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. My prediction is that we will get a release date for current gen of Midnight Suns in the middle of December. December as a whole. I'm specifically saying middle of December though, as a best case scenario. And as another best case scenario for last gen, those copies will release towards the end of January, early February. I know some games definitely like to wait until the month of their fiscal year ending, which is March, but again, the game, as we know based on all the current information that we have, the videos, the articles, the interviews, even the statement from the developers themselves, we know that it's almost more than ready, if I might say so myself, which is why I believe the game will release for everyone before March gets here, because again, March is worst case scenario for everybody. We all want the game as soon as possible. We're not trying to wait that long. I mean, fix what you need to fix and get the game right, but we also not trying to wait that long, right? We want to play it, we want to enjoy it. And seeing as how I would assume they would want to get their sales in on their sales report for the beginning of 2023, I don't believe they'll go as far as releasing it towards the tail end of March. So I think we are definitely safe on that front. And with all of that being said, that's going to bring us to the end of this video. I hope that you all have had a great time here. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about the video, what you think some of the issues might be, whether or not you agree or disagree with me. Let's go ahead, let's start a dialogue. And again, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so you can stay updated on all of my future Midnight Suns related content, and I will catch y'all in the moonlight. Peace.
Tryna do it big, tryna live life. Pull it to the club with the bottles on ice. Be the back end by the end of the night. I'm an artiste, a social light. Tryna do it big, tryna live life. Pull it to the club with the bottles on ice. Be the back end by the end of the night. I'm an artiste and a social light.